football.
Thanks, Mike. Joe Tessitore, Rod Gilmore with you here in Morgantown, West Virginia. Pitt tried to screen pass on 2nd and 10. And that is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Darius Patton. So we welcome you here to the backyard brawl in Morgantown. 104th meeting between Pitt and West Virginia. Pitt now facing a 3rd down at West Virginia's 25. Their opening offensive series. And you saw the left tackle move there.
False start. Offense, number 60. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Let's show you what's at stake tonight. A wide open Big East. Nobody controls their own destiny, Rod.
No, and this is an elimination game tonight for Pitt, West Virginia. Loser is out of the Big East BCS race. Winner stays alive to next week. And both teams need help.
Dana Holgerson and Todd Graham, the first-year head coaches. 3rd and 15. Sunseri trying to do it with his legs, and he is met hard at the 21-yard line by Terrence Garvin.
That's actually a really good play and a good hit on both parts. You do the draw here, quarterback draw gets you a much more reasonable field goal attempt, but a big hit at the end there by the safety Garvin.
So a 38-yard attempt by Kevin Harper. And he's unable to put it through. Kept it to the right. A late flag comes in right at the line of scrimmage. Todd Graham looking for an explanation.
Personal foul, low block on the defense, number 99. Half the distance to the goal, automatic. First down.
Wow, just Dana Holgerson's like, what?
After coming up with the stop on 3rd down, now the Pitt offense will be in prime position. Dana's starting to boil up a bit. Todd Graham's no stranger to these backyard brawls. He was an assistant under Rich Rodriguez back in 2001 and 02. Zach Brown and Isaac Bennett now in the backfield with Sunseri, and this is Zach Brown. And only able to get about a yard past that line of scrimmage as he was met by Garvin and Cook. Let's look for that penalty, Rod.
I want you to watch this official right here and watch what he's looking at. It's going to be hard to see, but he is right up close watching, and it appears that that's where the penalty occurred. He's going to throw his flag right in there. He was right on top of it. The only one staring at the play.
2nd and 10. They can get a first down just inside the 1-yard line. Sunseri pumps, dives, and he gets to the 2-yard line that time as Darwin Cook was closing in on him.
Yeah, that penalty is the same as a turnover. I mean, you have a missed field goal, you're off the field, no points, and now you're back on, and Pitt's threatening with a touchdown, all because of that penalty.
And now Dana has to rely on his defense to make sure it's not a 7-point swing. See what Pitt has done in the red zone this year. They've had success. Brown looking for more, and he does not get to that line to make, as he's going to be a yard short, and a flag is down. Casey Vance came in with the tackle of Zach Brown.
Yep.
Jerry McGinn, our referee, with this Big East crew, as they talk things over. Of course, this could be the last 60 minutes against each other for the foreseeable future with the conference realignment.
Yeah, that'd be
After
awesome.
the play, personal foul, defense, number 23. Also, after the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, 15. Players offset, 4th down.
What do you do on 4th down? I mean, things were chippy a little bit before the game. We saw that on the field. You get personal fouls. Now, Pitt going for it on 4th down here. They missed a field goal. I wonder if that shook confidence, but you'd think you'd want points, but this is such an emotional game, emotional rivalry. They're going for the 6 right now.
Remember, this is 4th and 1, not 4th and goal. They can pick up a first down just inside the 1-yard line, and Todd Graham is going to take a timeout. Pitt wants to talk it over. We will take a break with him. 4th and 1 when we return to Morgantown. And we welcome you back to ESPN's College Football Primetime, presented by Russell Athletic.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of this. When you get a freebie and a do-over, you need to have points, and they're risking it here.
4th and 1. Devin Street and Mike Shanahan are the receivers to the near side. Brown with a lone back. Both sides pointing at each other as the umpire raced in there. This is typical backyard brawl stuff, what we're seeing on this.
That's why it's the backyard.
Opening possession by Pitt. Chippy,
Offside.
a lot of penalties.
Defense, number 99. Half the distance to the goal.
Right in here. Watch that helmet. Watch the helmet come across the neutral zone and make contact. Knew it all along.
Now the officials, with the half the distance, will have to measure to see if that is good enough for the first down.
Well, if they go with anything other than a quarterback sneak here, and remember, they aren't normally under center. They're normally a shotgun team. It's a little different here. If you're handing off here, you got a lot of ball handling going on right here. Quarterback exchange, handoff to the running back. Probably safer with Tino Sanseri just going at it himself.
4th and inches. Sanseri does just that. Clearly has the first down. The question is, did he cross the goal line? West Virginia is celebrating because they came out of the pile with the ball. The amount of confusion between these two teams over the course of these last 5 plays is amazing.
Well, you can see that he made substantial progress there. Clearly got beyond the first down marker with that progress. It doesn't appear from that first angle that he got into the end zone, so I think that's a correct call. And clearly he held on to the football. They did not rule a fumble.
So there is the first down. He was short of the goal line, and it'll be 1st and goal. So Todd Graham rewarded there. Now he's looking for the 7.
Well, he's going to have 4 cracks at it.
13th play of this drive for Pitt.
Helped by the penalty on the missed field goal.
And then 2 more flags. Here's Zach Brown, and he scores for the Panthers.
Everybody bunched up inside. They elect to get to the edge with Brown, the replacement for Ray Graham. And it was a relatively easy touchdown. Everybody pinched inside. A good block by the tight end Graham on the right side, creating some space for Brown to just squeeze right in.
Remember, Ray Graham, who was #2 in the nation in rushing, tore his ACL back in October against UConn. And Zach Brown has been filling in. Sensirius helped out with his efforts on the ground. And Pitt off to a good start here in the 104th backyard brawl. Glad you're with us here in Morgantown. Joe Tessitore alongside Rod Gilmore. We're all sitting back today watching what would happen with Louisville, trying to figure out this situation in the Big East. I don't know that a lot's been cleared up because of what happened today. Nobody controls their own destiny.
No.
But we know what happens on the field tonight. It's an elimination game.
That's exactly right. We're down to the last 2 weekends of the season, and some team tonight will be out of the BCS chase in the Big East. Louisville is still in the hunt because they won today. And what Pitt needs to win out, and then they need to have Cincinnati and Rutgers lose one more game, and that would give Pitt a win of the BCS title. West Virginia, on the other hand, they need to win tonight and next week and have Cincinnati win out to create a three-way tie. That is the only way West Virginia gets in, is a tiebreaker with a three-way tie.
It is moments like this, Rod Gilmore, where I'm thankful that you went to Stanford and then you earned your Juris Doctorate to try to explain those standings.
We just have a great research department at ESPN is what we have.
And once again, a short kick that does take a bounce and goes into the hands of Tavon Austin. He's the dangerous one. Had a 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown opening week against Marshall. Saturday afternoon on the ESPN networks. Great day of college football. You got Ohio State, Michigan, and then your ABC or ESPN2 games. Number 5 Virginia Tech against Virginia with a trip to the ACC title game on the line. Civil War at Oregon. Penn State, Wisconsin, 3:30 kick on ESPN. That's a good afternoon on the ESPN networks.
We're going to hustle down to Charlottesville for that Virginia Tech-Virginia game, and I'm also interested in that Wisconsin game. How close are they to being undefeated?
And once again, the officiating crew is going to have to clean things up.
5-yard penalty, first down.
Seeing a lot of Jerry McGinn already tonight.
You know, Dana can't be happy. It's a sloppy start to this ball game for West Virginia. You go back to the field goal they missed, that was missed by Pitt, but a penalty kept the drive alive, 7 points, and then they open up here with a false start.
So Geno Smith in that Mountaineers offense, starting with a 1st and 15. Smith, pressure up the middle. Gets away from it and then completes it to Austin downfield, and Austin with one quick move and then out to the 42.
You know, when we talk about pressure being on Geno Smith and having to do so much, that's an example of it. That play wasn't easy. You know, what he wanted on the right side wasn't there. He had to extend the play and buy time to make something happen, and that's what's been going on week after week for the West Virginia offense, relying on Geno Smith to make something happen.
6th in the nation in passing yards per game is Geno Smith, 349 a game. Play action now. Downfield and complete again to Tavon Austin, and this should be good for another first down for West Virginia.
And Dana Holgorsen thinking about protecting Geno Smith, moving the launch point, getting him outside the pocket, away from the pressure. He's already been sacked once tonight.
See, they hurry up and snap with 26 on the play clock. Dustin Garrison to the 45 that time. Garrison tackled by Chaz Alexi, who's having an outstanding year, as is many of those players in that front 7 for Pitt. This is a defense, Rod, that is improved greatly as the year has gone on.
Yeah, they've really gotten better, and really getting after the quarterback because of the play of Aaron Donald has helped them a lot.
2nd and 9 now. Smith, pressure, and then just launches the ball incomplete, trying to save something there, but it was Miles Carrageen and Aaron Donald who were quick to get to Geno Smith.
This is what's happening on the outside. This is Bailey, the deep threat. Look at the good job Williams does getting his hands on him, forcing him out of bounds. That's where Geno Smith wanted to go. They're putting a guy in front of Bailey and being physical with him to take him out of the deep game.
K'Wan Williams, the best corner that Pitt has. 3rd and 9 now. Smith's going to take a shot here. McCartney, but he overthrows into the outside. The coverage came from Antoine Reed.
You know, most of the deep passes, they go to Bailey. And you just saw that Bailey is getting a lot of attention. And so West Virginia starts looking for another way to get the ball down the field.
Ivan McCartney, who was the intended target there, a cousin of Chad Ochocinco's. So Michael Molinari on to punt for the 2nd time tonight. And Ronald Jones back deep at the 10. And this is a line drive. That'll go inside the 5. And was that saved by the special teams unit?
Remember, the rule is it's the ball, not the player's body.
And they're ruling that a touchback. Roderick Jenkins was downfield on special teams. But they say they will be bringing it out to the 20. Good effort nonetheless.
ESPN's College Football Primetime is presented by Russell Athletic, who remind you that together we are.
All night long, we're going to show you some of the programs over the 103-year previous games between West Virginia and Pitt, the backyard brawl. We had so much fun looking through these programs this
Check
morning.
out the prices on some of these things.
50 cents here and there. There's one from 1957 when these two met.
Kind of hard to imagine that they might end this rivalry.
Well, such is the case with conference realignment. Pitt eventually headed to the ACC. And the Big 12 will be calling for West Virginia. And the replay official is taking a look to see if this did cross the plane of that goal line. They ruled it a touchback. The call on the field was that it did, and that the ball would be coming out to the 20.
Yeah, now remember, it has nothing to do with where the player's body is. It is the football. Did the football break the plane of the goal line? And the official on the field ruled that it did not, so we need indisputable evidence, irrefutable and indisputable, to overturn that.
Now the Pitt offense is indeed coming out to the 20-yard line. Sunseri now sprinting to the far side and getting it complete to Shanahan, who is ridden out at the 25 by Terrence Garvin.
You know, Tess, Sunseri has gotten really comfortable in this offense. The whole premise of this offense, more plays and more points because you go fast. Well, they've gotten more plays, but not more points.
And now Ronald Jones comes in and gives them a little bit of a wildcat look. So here's Jones on the option. He cuts back and spins ahead for about 2 yards. He was met by Jared Barber. You know, one of the interesting conversations, Rod, we had this week was the quick pace that they like to go at. As the season went on, they actually slowed things down.
Well, yeah, they were doing things at 15 seconds. You know, that's when they were getting to the line. It was way too fast, and they couldn't do it efficiently. They've backed off to 22 seconds now.
You see that play clock down to 16 already. 3rd and 2 now. Zach Brown was met in the backfield right away by Terrence Garvin. That is a heck of a defensive play by Garvin.
Well, Garvin from his safety spot has had a couple of big hits tonight. He's to the right side of the screen. He reads this on the pressure attack there, and he is unblocked. And that's just good game planning, anticipating what will be done by Pitt in that 3rd and short situation.
So Matt Yaklik on to punt. He has struggled with some consistency this year. This is a high punt. Tavon Austin calls for the fair catch at the 22. And there is the flag at the end of that play.
I wonder if that wasn't done by his own player. I think he got knocked down by his own player.
Well, Andrew Taglianetti was definitely in the mix for Pitt. There is Taglianetti, who's been a special teams force throughout his career. Can you believe the amount of flags in this game so far?
No flag on the play. Catch interference. The player was blocked into the receiver. First down.
Good call by you, Rod.
Well, you see, you got a couple guys just struggling there, and that's not the fault of Taglianetti. And he's just doing what he's supposed to do. That's a good job of officiating, picking up the flag, getting together, talking about it, recognizing what actually happened there. That's a good job.
So back comes Geno Smith. Sean Alston now joins him in the backfield. There's that little touch pass to Tavon Austin that we've seen a few times. He dives towards the 29-yard line, but watch what he does here, Rod, because he just takes the snap and bats it forward.
Yeah, it's almost a no-look kind of pass. Look at this. He doesn't actually control it that much. He just pushes it right back to Austin. It's a timing play. We've seen Oklahoma State do that, but other than those two teams, no one else does. That's pretty risky.
2nd and 4 now. And here is Sean Alston, and Alston only able to get a yard that time as Max Gruder, among others, in with Miles Carrigan for that Pitt defense.
This is the problem for West Virginia. They have to find a way to get some kind of a running attack. They are 96th in the country rushing the football, less than 117 yards a game.
It's been a mix of first-year players with Garrison and Bowie and Roberts, and more recently Dana Holgerson. He told us the other day he's been working in Sean Alston, who you saw there, the 221-pound junior. 3rd and 3. Play action now for Smith, and that is complete, but tackled right at the line of scrimmage was Tyler Urban. That was Brandon Lindsay who came up to make that stop.
I tell you right now, these corners for Pitt, they're doing a real good job of being physical and playing press coverage on the wide receivers. Really getting in their face, getting their hands on them, and taking them out of what West Virginia wants to do, whether it's getting good blocking position or getting down the field on routes.
Molinari with a poor effort on this punt. That bounces out just over midfield. So Pitt will have good field position when we return to the backyard brawl. 22-yard punt.
ESPN, the BCS lives here.
And the BCS moves onward with LSU now at 12-0, Rod. Alabama, of course, the Iron Bowl tomorrow. Arkansas will be coming down. Oklahoma State, you know the hit they took last week. And Virginia Tech, number 5 tomorrow, ABC 3:30 against their rival Virginia to see who goes to the ACC title game.
This thing is not over yet, but I do think LSU is a lock.
Sunseri now with time gets it complete to Devin Street, who charges down to the 32-yard line where he was met by Barber and Garvin. 20-yard reception for Devin Street, who they're really looking to pick things up with Salath Williams and Cam Sadler out with injuries. Isaac Bennett now in the backfield, and they go with the inside handoff to Bennett, and Bennett gets it inside to the 25-yard line.
Tino Sunseri gets really good windows to throw the football because they use the backs to move the linebackers. Look how Brown comes out and draws a back outside, opens up a huge window for Street to sit and catch the ball.
And he just settled down in that big patch of green, and Sunseri met him.
Move those linebackers, you got windows. 2nd
and 3 now. Sunseri. That is complete for a first down to Graham, and Hubie Graham lowers the shoulder pads and gets it down to the 11-yard line.
I really like Graham. He is a really good player, and this team really trusts him an awful lot. He's not only a really good blocker, he's a good receiver, particularly in the red zone. When you look for a significant running play on tape, he's involved blocking, leading the way in some way, shape, or form for Pitt.
Here's Bennett inside the 10 to the 6-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and 5. Once again, just like the last time they were in the red zone, they can get a first down at the 1. Isaac Bennett, a true freshman who's been getting more playing time since Ray Graham tore his ACL. He's out for the year. Zach Brown and Bennett have been splitting the duties. Bennett. Touchdown, Pitt. He just ran Keith Tandy over.
How about that? 2 guys trying to make the tackle, but Bennett clearly wanted it more, and the other guys, the tacklers, looked like they were actually just trying to catch him or hold him while he was powering in. Watch him finish this run. And he gets hit at about the 3-yard line. They're catching, he's delivering.
This is a guy that was slated to be redshirted this year, but with Ray Graham lost for the year, he has been added into that rotation, and he has produced. Pitt is off to a good start. The 6-yard touchdown run by Bennett. Milan Puskar Stadium, the brawl. Pittsburgh up 2 touchdowns early here against West Virginia. Keep the brawl every fall, that sign said. Of course, that is in question for the foreseeable future, pending what happens with conference realignment and all the exit agreements. Pitt eventually headed to the ACC. West Virginia and the Big East in a little legal wrangling over their exit to the Big 12. So potentially this could be the last 60 minutes that these 2 longtime rivals meet up in the next few years. And the big boot by Harper.
You know, Tess, one of the so-called subplots to this game was supposed to be the relationship or lack thereof between Dana Holgorsen and Graham.
They crossed paths in the past.
Yeah, as assistant coaches, and had some issues when Holgorsen's offense was running up big points on Graham's defense, and Holgorsen thought that Graham's players were faking injury to slow him down.
Not unlike stuff we heard with Oregon in recent years.
Exactly. But these 2 men were talking before the game, and Holgorsen's told us, well, we respect each other. We're fine. There's nothing wrong with our relationship. Blown out of proportion, he says.
Here's Geno Smith. They go with the tunnel screen. Stedman Bailey breaks free, and Bailey is out to the 36-yard line. Bailey, who set the school record with 5 straight 100-yard games this year. He is a steady and very reliable receiver for the Mountaineers.
Well, one thing we know about Holgorsen is that he's a straight shooter. If he doesn't like somebody, he'll say so.
No, he pulls no punches.
If he thinks a player isn't performing well, he doesn't sugarcoat it.
Smith now rolls to the near side. He's going to tuck it and run it, and he has a first down. There's Geno Smith.
Well, he has few options down the field. What we showed you earlier about the physical play of the corners on the wide receivers, that's continuing. And when Smith looks downfield, he's got nothing, so he's taking off. I mean, these guys, Juwan Williams and Reed on the other side, they are really battling these receivers.
First down at the 47. Screen back to the other side to Garrison, and he stiff arms his way out to the 46. That was Jared Holley. Well, he was trying to get after Garrison.
The good news for Geno Smith is that he's not forcing things. He looked to his right, didn't have what he needed, was patient enough to come back and go to the other side, and they're moving the football because of those second reads, the adjustment he's making and not forcing it.
2nd and 3 now. Garrison on the pitch. Good pursuit that time as he was cut down by Greg Williams.
What great
Jackson
penetration.
also got in there.
Wow. And Williams got in that backfield in a hurry.
There's Greg Williams, who has really come on. That was a loss of 6 yards. Williams was a backup at the beginning of the year, but he ended up earning that starting nod. Makes for a 3rd and 9 now. They show pressure. Smith just launches it up. It is complete to Urban, but it should be short of the first down by about 2.5 yards.
You notice how Geno Smith is retreating. He can't back up, pressured by Williams and Alexi. Both of them back there harassing him. He couldn't set his feet. He couldn't step forward. And we've seen this before this season. We saw Syracuse pressure Geno Smith all night long and really disrupt this offense.
Once again, Molinari on to punt. Did not have a good effort last time, and this isn't going to excite the crowd too much as it bounces at about the 20. Pitt has played well in first quarters this season, only allowing 1 touchdown. Goose egg for West Virginia. 27-yard punt that time. (14-0) Pitt on top in the backyard brawl. How expressive is Dana Holgorsen? Well, take a look at his reaction after that most recent 3rd down they could not convert. His offense comes off, says a few words.
Boom. Yeah, he knows how to get your attention. They are 0 for 4 on 3rd down.
He has high expectations. And this is Ronald Jones, who you will see line up in various positions. Athletic player for Pitt, who they try to get the ball in space.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that plays the wide receiver spot but lines up at Wildcat. Has thrown the football a couple times this year, although typically they want him to run with it.
Had a touchdown pass against Iowa. A little end around trick play. Found Cameron Sadler. 2nd and 6 now for Pitt. Sunseri, 3-step drop, gets it complete for a first down to Devin Street.
Sunseri's pass is complete to Devin Street.
You know, Holgorsen has reason to be frustrated with his team's play tonight. 0 for 4 on 3rd down, 4 possessions, 4 punts, and bad punts, 2 less than 30 yards, and then that big penalty on the missed field goal.
It was appropriate that he had his back turned to us when we showed him, because you can always tell how frustrated he is by the back of his hair. Zach Brown, he starts working that hair rod,
yeah,
and the level of frustration just increases.
Oh man, he's intense and he's frustrated right now. I mean, his defense is struggling a little bit. His offense has really had a problem, and it all goes back to that penalty in the first quarter that changed the complexion of the game.
On the missed field goal,
yep,
kept things alive for Pitt. Here's 2nd and 3, and Zach Brown just cuts back against the grain and has a first down out to the 49. Zach Brown, of course, getting plenty of playing time recently because Ray Graham, there he is, out for the year. He was number 2 in the nation in rushing when he played that Wednesday night game against UConn, and on their first series he tore his ACL. Josh Taylor, the defensive lineman for West Virginia, was slow to get up at the end of the play. And you can see the medical staff tending to Josh Taylor. Of course, Ray Gramrod was such a big part of their offensive production. And here's what happened against Connecticut back on October 26th.
Yeah, he was just making a jump cut, and that right knee had a problem. And he was such a big part of the Pittsburgh offense. that the immediate reaction was to think, what are they going to do without him offensively? I mean, he carried such a heavy load for this team. He was 85% of their rushing offense, almost half of their entire offense, almost a third of their points. And since he got injured, they turned to the quarterback, Gino Sunseri, to pick up more of the action, which he did. He's run the ball a lot more since that injury to Graham. He's thrown more effectively. They've gotten help from Zach Brown in the backfield, catching the ball and stepping in and running when called upon.
Also, we've seen Isaac Bennett contribute. There is Bennett, a player who Todd Graham was looking at when he was at Tulsa, and then got the job here at Pitt and brought him up north. Ronald Jones nowhere to go as he is tackled in the backfield by Broderick Jenkins. That is a loss of 6.
Well, and that's a negative play, and it's pressure, just a corner blitz. Actually, he wasn't blitzing. He read this right off the bat, and Jenkins got in there in a hurry. But they needed a negative play. They needed the defense to step up and create a tough situation for the Pitt offense. Pitt's offense has been dictating throughout this ball game.
2nd and 16 now. Sunseri going to try to run it himself. He's just able to dive ahead, but he's in the arms and grasp of Bruce Irvin. Bruce Irvin, who is a real top pass rushing NFL prospect. And they talked all week long about how they need him in a game like this to get after and frustrate Sunseri, disrupt things in that backfield. Here's a perfect opportunity for him now on 3rd and 14. Play clock down to 5. Sunseri scrambling for anything. Flag is down as he cuts back, and for the time being has a first down, but we will check on the flag.
Hold. 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
So that'll be coming back.
Yeah, there was a clear hold to the right side of Sunseri. And on the other side, Bruce Irvin really drew a lot of attention. Not only does he have a tackle to contend with, they also bring the guard out also, Schleifer, to deal with him. So he was facing 600 pounds of beef trying to keep him out of the backfield.
He was number 2 in the country in sacks a year ago, was Bruce Irvin. He gets everybody's attention. 3rd and 24. They only bring 3. Sunseri pressured, and the defense did their job. That was Julian Miller, who was quick to get to Tino Sunseri.
Well, the defense not only did their job, they got the crowd back into it. I mean, this crowd been waiting all day for this game, came in excited, worked up, and then down 14 points and fell silent.
Yaklick's punt to be fielded by Tavon Austin. And it takes a Pitt bounce, and then he does field it inside the 20. The backyard brawl brings out the chippiness. Bruce Irvin found that out, meeting up with Jordan Gibbs. A little hello.
Did I let you know?
They got the
Would you like to go? I wanna dance to every day's occasion. This I know.
stop on the ESPN Jeep Ultimate Tailgate Experience tomorrow when UCLA takes on USC from the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. And Rod, please explain to me UCLA's season. Please. Riddle me UCLA playing in the Pac-12 championship game. Geno Smith, he gets it complete out to the 23 to Ivan McCartney.
It tells you how awful that Pac-12 South is. Arizona State, which plays tonight against Cal, had control of that thing a month ago and then fell apart.
That game follows this game, Cal Arizona State. 2nd and 5 now. Smith, pressure right up the middle, sprints away from it and gains about 1.5 yards. As the pressure came from Brandon Lindsay. There is number 7.
Well, Brandon Lindsay and his mates are doing exactly what they want on defense. Watch the pressure inside. They want to force Geno Smith to step back. They don't want him to step up. They don't want him to flush out to the right side where he can still throw the football. They want to force him to the left or to stay in the pocket. But they are getting pressure on him.
Lindsay from Aliquippa, the Quips, and Mike Ditka, Sean Gilbert, so many great players through the years. 3rd and 3 now. And a timeout called right there by Geno Smith. We'll step aside. Mountaineers facing a 3rd down when we return.
ESPN's College Football Primetime. Brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. And Fiat. Life is best when driven.
Rod, I got to thank you, Rod, for all the hard work you did with the sports information director at West Virginia, Mike Montero. You guys were down there in the archives, going through boxes, pulling out all these old programs day after day. It was very impressive work you did.
Yeah, aren't those just fantastic? I love spending my time down in the basements.
3rd and 3 now. Smith to pass on 3rd and 3, and it's incomplete. And Stedman Bailey turned from receiver to defensive back as Antoine Reed actually had a better chance of getting that ball.
I mean, these corners are just dominating tonight. I mean, now 0 for 3 on 3rd down. Look at the tight coverage out there by Antoine Reed, and he's been all over Stedman Bailey all night. I mean, Bailey has been a non-factor in the offense.
And now Corey Smith comes in to punt.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad.
Ronald Jones fields the punt, and the crowd cheers because Smith came in and actually kicked it further than 27 yards. Molinari had been struggling.
Yeah, a couple times he was under 27 yards, and the fans go wild. If that's what you have to cheer about during the backyard brawl, ooh, that's not good.
It's a 57-yard punt by Smith.
Personal foul on the receiving team, number 9. Half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
Now we have more to cheer about.
Well, we noticed that there was some chippiness before the game.
You can get ready for the bowl season with the ESPN Bowl Bound app. It's free on your iPhone, your Android. Text BOWL to 43776 to download. All right, tech guru, give me the quick review on the ESPN Bowl Bound app. What do you got?
Well, you just got to give me your phone and let me get you all squared away and hooked up.
I'm so intimidated by that upgrade you're trying to sell me on the iPhone. I think the whole thing's going to fry if I press those buttons.
Trust.
Here is Zach Brown with a gain of just 1. That was Bruce Irvin with the tackle. Thus you hear the Bruce from the crowd.
Were you surprised at the chippiness a little bit before the game and having the players separated and the number of personal fouls we've had? Yeah,
on the 50-yard line before the game, they try to keep these guys separated. Second and 9 now, as Sunseri kept it that time, trying to read the play, and he's going to be 2 yards short. Irvin again with the tackle, so it'll make for a 3rd and 2.
You know, we've had a couple of personal fouls. This is a backyard brawl, 70 miles separating these schools, and it's emotional.
Teams have split the past 4 games. West Virginia winning the last 2. 3rd and 2. Brown trying to get that line to make, and he does not at all. Just a gain of 1 that time. That was a good effort by Jawan Snow and Bruce Irvin.
Well, it's the 2nd consecutive stop by the West Virginia defense.
Jawan Snow, number 56, who got in on that play. the son of Garland Rivers, the former Michigan defensive back, nephew of Percy and Eric Snow.
Yeah, Eric Snow was the basketball player.
Yeah, NBA player. Percy, of course, great linebacker at Michigan State. Tavon Austin, the fair catch at the 38. West Virginia's got to do something offensively. We'll see if they can when we return.
It means everything to the fans. So once a Mountaineer, always a Mountaineer. Keep the tradition going and don't let go of it.
It's close. It's a moneymaker. It's a great rivalry. I think it should continue.
I would be really upset about that. I mean, this is a big game. They've been playing this game for over 100 years.
No more backyard brawl would be very sad.
We've already lost Penn State as our primary rival, and I would really hate to see us lose West Virginia as well.
I'd hate to see it go away, and I sure love playing West Virginia.
I think both athletic directors, Steve Peterson at Pitt and Oliver Luck at West Virginia, agree with a lot of that sentiment. The realities is that they don't know their immediate future with the ACC and Big 12 coming down the line and the exit agreements with the Big East. We will see what the future is of this rivalry between Pitt and West Virginia. Could be the last 60 minutes against each other for the foreseeable future. Sean Alston. And Alston is able to carry that out to the 42-yard line.
Well, clearly conference realignment, shifting, changing, is affecting rivalries here and elsewhere, and who knows how that's going to play out in the end.
Saw that last night, a thriller between Texas and Texas A&M, as Reese and the Thursday night crew had a fantastic finish. 2nd and 6 now. And the whistle blows as it was motion.
False start. Offense. Number 76. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
And Dana Holgerson will be returning to the Big 12 at some point. Here's the timeline of how they've arrived at this point to leave the Big East.
Yeah, October 18th, you know, they have plans to double the exit fee, but that depends on having the new teams coming to the conference.
2nd and 11. Smith takes a strike downfield, and wide open was Stedman Bailey. A stiff arm for good measure and a sprint to the pylon. Touchdown, Mountaineers. Adds the extra point, a 63-yard touchdown catch. A tremendous effort by Stedman Bailey.
Well, there's nothing fancy about it here. You simply have Stedman Bailey right here locked up in man coverage, and he will eventually beat it all night long. He's been getting pressured by Reed. Reed being physical. He finally beat the press coverage, got off the line of scrimmage, and with a great stiff arm on Holly, he managed to keep going. And it was the stiff arm that allowed him to get free for the touchdown as Holly tried to come over. He just tapped him on the face mask and said, "See ya." That is not going to be a good film review for Holly when he sees that stiff arm there. My goodness.
Geno Smith and Stedman Bailey have made history tonight, setting the marks for the best single season yardage-wise for a quarterback and for a receiver. They were high school teammates down there in Florida, and you see the numbers on Geno Smith now. 3,636 yards. And this is Ronald Jones from the goal line. And Jones wrestles his way out to the 31 as he was met by Willie Millhouse. Well, Rod, we had just gotten into the discussion of West Virginia leaving the Big East for the Big 12.
Yeah, and that exit fee is $5 million until teams come in. West Virginia will go to the Big 12, but they have a 27-month waiting period that they are suing to have shortened, and the Big East responded by suing, saying, hey, you're breaching our contract. You've got to stay here until July 1, 2014.
Commissioner John Marinato said we're protecting the integrity and the interest of the Big East. So that yet to be determined as to when they will leave as the flag comes in.
Well, and you know, the West Virginia.
False start. Offense, number 52. 5-yard penalty, first down.
The West Virginia position has been that, hey, the Big East has allowed other teams to defect, and they cited TCU and said TCU was able to leave. They didn't have to wait 27 months. And so now this is in the courts, and the courts will decide if there ought to be a 27-month waiting period. Advantage West Virginia. Courts don't typically do that unless there are really extenuating circumstances.
Inside handoff goes to Isaac Benton, and Benton has a good run for a first down. This is a fine-looking true freshman.
Isaac Benton will occur. Darwin Cook on the tackle. Down Pitt.
Watch the vision. He found the hole, saw him lean to his right, found the hole back to the left, quick feet to change direction and get over there. Bennett doing a nice job.
17 yards on the run by Bennett. This time tackled for a loss by Najee Good, the unquestioned leader of this defense. He was the only returning starter coming into this year among this linebacking crew, and he's been very productive.
Well, he started out playing the season at middle linebacker to help the team because of injuries. His natural spot is outside.
Backed up now to a 2nd and 11. Sunseri. He goes down. Sacked by big George Wright.
Well, Tess, when they have a negative play on first down, West Virginia can get into their pressure package. That's Bruce Irvin and company. There you see Irvin. They bring the blitz to help him out. He occupies a couple of guys, and they bring pressure from the other side. That's what they want to get to. 2nd down, 3rd down, and get their fast pass rushers on the field.
Play clock running down here, 3rd and 18. Staring Sunseri right in the face. And it hits zeros. And they were able to call a timeout.
Timeout. Pittsburgh. Just a second.
First-year head coach Todd Graham, who knows what this rivalry is all about. Spent a couple years with Rich Rod, building a program that's brought to you by Craftsman.
You mentioned Todd Graham and what he did as a defensive coordinator at West Virginia with Rich Rodriguez before moving on to become a head football coach. And he's been a guy that was recognized for a long time as a defensive guru, pioneer with that 3-3-5 look, 3 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers, 5 defensive backs, pressure, playing with undersized guys. He's carried that model throughout college football. Others have adopted it.
3rd and 18. They go conservative with Bennett on the delayed handoff. And this West Virginia defense is firing off. Najee Good again on the tackle.
You know, everyone in America can call the play on 3rd and 20 plus. It's like it's on page 1 of the coaching manual. Draw play.
So after sleepwalking through much of the first half, some energy here in Morgantown. Oh, that's a live ball. And Pitt was able to recover. Andrew Taglianetti on special teams does it again.
I think that was Banks who didn't see the ball until the last minute, and it almost, he could have caught it. I mean, it bounced right to him, and I think he was stunned, had no idea he was that close to the ball.
Well, it took a sideways bounce, so he wasn't expecting it, and then he was almost playing defense, like a bullet coming right to his chest. And Taglianetti, who's a special teams ace, Rod, this is a guy that whenever he's out on the field, something good typically happens. He has 6 blocked punts in his career and comes up with the recovery there. So Pitt is back in business. And they go with the screen to Street, and he gets it for a gain of about 11 yards as Garvin made the tackle.
Street has been the go-to guy for this team. A couple of games with 100 yards plus receiving the last 2 weeks.
Just when West Virginia had momentum, Rod, a special teams blunder. Inside handoff now with Bennett, and he was tackled by Najee Good just before the 15-yard line.
For game 6.
Now Banks over there on the sideline, hoping that the defense can bail him out. 2nd and 5 now. Zach Brown in the backfield with the junior quarterback Tino Sunseri. Brown gets the call. And he is wrapped up after a gain of 2 that time, and it was Terrence Garvin among those defenders coming in to meet Zach Brown.
You know what we talked about this week, that Pitt likes to run behind their tight end Ruby Graham, and Graham that time got stuffed in the backfield, but he is such a key to them. They will look for him on 3rd and short. He has really good hands out of the backfield, and they trust him in the run game.
Follow Graham and you'll likely find the ball carrier.
Exactly.
Bennett, the lone back here on 3rd and 2. And he does try to follow Hubie Graham that time, but West Virginia filled those holes. It was Darwin Cook making the tackle.
Yeah, Graham did not win his block. And they wanted to get behind him with Bennett. And Graham ran into trouble inside. They're going right behind him, and he takes on, I can't even see the number, but he's got himself a big lineman there. Actually, that was Casey Vance who got underneath Graham and stopped the play.
So Kevin Harper on to attempt the 30-yard field goal. And Harper puts it through. So the special teams recovery sets him up for 3 more on the scoreboard. Here in Morgantown, trying to untangle the Big East standings as things still up in the air. 17-7. Pitt on top of West Virginia. Saturday night, ESPN offers up number 17 Clemson, number 12 South Carolina. 7:45 kick on ESPN. Always a great rivalry. And then 8 o'clock, Notre Dame and Stanford on Saturday Night Football, presented by Southwest Airlines, as Andrew Luck looks to put the final touches on his resume for the Heisman Trophy. It's going to be a very interesting race for the next week here.
Well, we're both voters, and I think all voters are paying attention this weekend to see how these candidates fare the last week or 2.
Short kick, fielded by Bailey, and gives us a chance to check in with Jonathan Coachman. What's up, Coach?
How you doing, guys? Coming up on the Dell halftime report, LSU, they stay perfect. A beat down of Arkansas today. An open and shut Case. Case Keenum, terrific again as well. We've got an upset, a top 5 upset in college hoops. Lou Holtz, Mark May will join me coming up at the half. Gentlemen, great to see you. Send it back to you.
Look forward to hearing from the coach and the real coach, Coach Holtz, and May Day, who was 4-0, by the way, was Mark May during the backyard brawl days he had.
Called bragging rights.
Tavon Austin out in space and wrapped up at the 30-yard line by Buddy Jackson.
That play is designed to act like a run, to take a little bit of pressure off of Geno Smith.
I just want to stress this again. Mark May was 4-0, so that he can not email me next week and say you didn't mention that I was 4-0 in the backyard brawl.
Oh, he knows. He lets us know.
Just ask him. He'll tell you. Geno Smith now trying to extend the play on 2nd and 6. And that is incomplete as he was looking for Ivan McCartney.
Once again, pressure inside. And that's been effective all night. Geno Smith has had to bail out. He hasn't been able to step up. The only thing Pitt has done wrong on that is that they've allowed him to escape to the right side. And they really want to force him to go left to make it harder for him to extend plays and make throws.
So K'Wan Williams, who's been matched up with Tavon Austin for much of the night. 3rd and 6 now. Smith, pressure off the edge. He steps up and then just shuffles it forward and incomplete as Dustin Garrison could not handle that as Smith just flicked it off to the side.
But the problem was being indecisive. He didn't know if he wanted to run it or throw downfield or flip it over to Garrison. And he flipped it late behind him. And that's another 3rd down they failed to convert on. They are 0 for 6 on 3rd down.
Yeah, just look at Dana's face. That'll tell you 0 for 6 on 3rd down. And another good boot from Smith. Mike Shanahan now returning for Pitt, and he just scoots out to the 24. 0 for 6 on 3rd downs for West Virginia. It's been a few momentum changes tonight like this.
Started early, missed field goal by Pitt, but a penalty on West Virginia. Right there, you see it. There's only one guy who caught it. That official standing right there dropped that flag. It resulted in a touchdown by Brown. And then the other swing, how about the muffed punt by Banks, who didn't see it? That led to 3. 10 points following mistakes by West Virginia.
So now 1:52 to go. And Pitt will get another chance. Flag does come in.
You take away those.
False start. Offense. Number 6. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
A lot of miscues, right?
Yeah. And those 2 mistakes on special teams led to the 10 points, and we have a 10-point difference in this ball game. But how about 7 possessions, 6 punts?
Dana is so disgusted, Rod. I mean, he has been sitting there shaking his head and crossing his arms for the better part of this first half. Here is Sunseri. Quickly gets it out to Zach Brown, and Brown tries to muscle his way for about 3.5 yards.
Well, you know,
that's what I'm talking about. See the hair?
Yeah.
See how he gets right into the hair there.
Yeah. Well, he wants to get this group to the locker room and probably chew them out because they've blown blocks. They haven't run the ball for anything. And he's upset, I'm sure, with his receivers because press coverage, you have to fight and want to get off the line of scrimmage. And his guys have struggled to get off the line of scrimmage.
There may be some paint coming off the wall in that locker room.
Look at that, 10 yards rushing. That's not being physical. And that's what he's ticked off about.
2nd and 11 now. Zach Brown again, and he is met well that time by Terrence Garvin.
And can you imagine Dana telling these guys, we're fighting these guys in our backyard. It's a brawl. And guess what? They are beating you up.
Now West Virginia takes a timeout, hoping for another chance here. 56 seconds to go. Tomorrow, game day is down on the plains. Number 2 Alabama, number 24 Auburn. It is the Iron Bowl. They're going to discuss everything you need to know about the BCS. What if Alabama loses? Plus, Matt Barkley, who's been getting himself into the conversation. And Vincent Bo Jackson will be the celebrity picker.
This is great. Roll Tide, War Eagle. Just like the documentary you and Bruce Feldman, worked on. Fantastic. This is now on my bucket list. I've got to get to an Iron Bowl. I'm glad game day's there, but I got to make one of those.
Start your day 9 a.m. tomorrow on ESPNU as they will be down there at the Iron Bowl, one of the best settings in all of college football. 3rd and 8. Zach Brown on 3rd and 8 just slices through that West Virginia defense.
I think West Virginia called the timeout thinking 3rd and 8, they'd get the stop, get the ball back, have a chance, and then there's a big play to pick up the first down, and Zach Brown is still on the ground.
Remember, this running back depth chart is thinned out to begin with, as their star offensive player Ray Graham has been out since October 26th with the torn ACL. They had to take the red shirt off of Isaac Bennett, the true freshman. So they're very limited with their options at running back, as Zach Brown is still down. There's Ray Graham.
And he represented so much of the offense, 900+ yards rushing before he was injured.
Watch the end of this run.
Yeah, he comes down on that shoulder, looks like, with a little bit of extra help on top by Banks.
And look who's right in there next to Zach Brown. It's Ray Graham. He was in a similar position not long ago of having his teammates concerned.
That's Ray Graham right there.
And now showing support, as that's a good sign, as Brown gets up and walks off. It's a good looking run he just had after West Virginia had called the timeout. Pitt was facing that 3rd down. And now a first down out to the 47 with 48 seconds. Empty backfield for Sunseri. See what they can come up with as he takes a shot downfield, and it is intercepted by Darwin Cook. And here goes Cook out to midfield and beyond, and West Virginia will have a chance with 31 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, Sunseri made a bad decision. Tino Sunseri tried to squeeze it in there when he really didn't have a place to go with it. Great job on the back end by this secondary. Now watch what the corner does here, and watch the safety. They're going to come over and they'll drop deep into that area and take away that corner route. Tino Sunseri thinks he can squeeze it in there. He's got 3 jerseys over there. Cook and Jenkins doing a great job, and Cook coming down with it. I mean, that's really good defense, but Tino Sunseri tried to squeeze that one in there.
Well, here's the opportunity Holgerson was looking for. Smith trying to set up the screen, but instead he is sacked. That was Juan Price, quick to get in there. West Virginia has 1 timeout remaining. Clock is now 18 and counting. They bring 4. Smith sacked again. Brandon Lindsay this time, and what a missed opportunity for the Mountaineers.
They can't protect the quarterback. They've got freshman running backs that they're keeping in to try and help in pass protection. It doesn't work. They're going to have to go bigger or keep more receivers in, but they cannot protect the quarterback. Price coming off the edge, and Lindsay there also.
Unable to capitalize on the interception. Juan Price and Brandon Lindsay all over Geno Smith. A 10-point margin here in the backyard brawl. Now, let's join Jonathan Coachman back in the studio for the Dell Halftime Report. ESPN's College Football Primetime, presented by Russell Athletic. Pitt by 10 in the 104th backyard brawl. Geno Smith needs to get going for the hometown team. Joe Tessitore alongside Rod Gilmore. Somebody's going to a BCS Bowl in the Big East. It will not be the loser of this game. That's the easiest way to explain it. This is an elimination. A lot of folks in play, a lot of scenarios that can play out, but this is an elimination game.
That's exactly right. Louisville got to win tonight. Elimination game tonight. Pitt, you know, they need a win and a win next week, and they need Cincinnati and Rutgers to lose, and then they have a shot for a BCS game. West Virginia needs to win tonight and next week, and they need Cincinnati to win out. So all we know tonight is that one of these teams will be out of the BCS race.
Pitt to receive here as Corey Davis takes it out from the goal line, and Davis out to the 30-yard line. Let's take a look at great teamwork, Rod, brought to you by Russell Athletic.
Well, great teamwork has been on this field tonight in terms of pressuring Geno Smith. That Pitt defense has been outstanding, whether it's been pressure brought inside or outside. Lindsey's been there. Aaron Donald has been there. And then Dewan Price came in also with a sack. 3 sacks in the first half for Pitt. Great teamwork.
And take note that the true freshman, number 34, Isaac Bennett, starts this second half for Pitt. And he gets just 2 yards there on that carry off the right side, met by Julian Miller.
Well, how good was that Pitt defense in the first half? Well, they really handled the key wide receivers for West Virginia, Bailey and Austin. Only 6 catches between the two of them. 1 touchdown by Bailey on a beautiful catch and stiff arm and run. But by and large, the corners for Pitt were way too physical for those receivers.
2nd and 8, Sunseri from the gun. And he hits Shanahan on the slant for a first down.
You notice how whenever Sunseri throws over the middle, he has big windows in which to get the football.
Also has a big receiver in the 6'5", 225 Shanahan, who basically almost posts up on
he's like a center receiving an entry pass in basketball.
Stay on the ground with Isaac Bennett for a gain of about 4. Remember what happened at the end of the first half when Zach Brown, the senior starting running back, was injured at the end of a 3rd down run. Bennett, now the true freshman, who was slated to be redshirted this year and has only been active because of Ray Graham being out for the year, now carries the load. 2nd and 6. And that was thrown to the outside of Hubie Graham.
You know, Brown was productive before being injured. 15 carries, 67 yards, and a touchdown. But the freshman Bennett has been solid. Now, will he be solid in pass protection with this speedy package of pass rushers that West Virginia will bring now?
He may have to chip Bruce Irvin or Will Clark as they're quick off the edge. 3rd and 6. Sunseri, can he do it on his own? No. He'll be a couple yards short as Julian Miller collapsed on him.
They only rushed 3 and had 8 back there to defend, and Sunseri couldn't find any opening, and finally the rush got to him, and the freshman Bennett tried to hang in there and chip Irvin and keep guys out. Eventually protection broke down, and this is a chance for West Virginia to get a little bit of old momentum back.
There is Tavon Austin, such a capable return man. And he muffs. Again it happens to them.
You're kidding.
Pittsburgh recovers. That was Shane Gordon, who was Johnny on the spot.
You talk about bizarre miscues. This is the 3rd miscue on special teams tonight. The muff by Austin, recovered by Pitt. There was the missed field goal by Pitt in the first quarter, but a penalty gave Pitt life, and they got a touchdown out of it. And then Banks muffed another ball that gave Pitt position to get a field goal.
And as our special teams guru with us, Mike Black, just noted, he clocked that at 5 seconds of hang time. That's NFL-type hang time on that punt, and they muffed it. And now Sunseri breaks free, and Sunseri is inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
You know, I know that West Virginia has made mistakes tonight, but one thing is also obvious. That Pitt team has been a lot more physical than West Virginia. They've hit harder. They've run the football more effectively.
Second and 3 now. Bennett looking for space and not finding anybody. Julian Miller just set up a wall there. Meanwhile, Tavon Austin having a conversation with the coaches. The muff punt, how costly will it be for Dana Holgorsen and the Mountaineers? Sunseri, quick strike was off the mark. He threw it behind Devon Street.
Now that's a good hold for the West Virginia defense. I mean, to give up the football on special teams inside the red zone and hold them to a potential field goal instead of giving up 7 is huge for the defense.
Kevin Harper comes back in. Remember, scored a field goal the last time there was that muff punt, and they recovered. This from 27, made from 30 earlier. And Pitt extends their lead. Austin mistake cost them 3. 20-7 Panthers.
Back in Morgantown, Dana Holgorsen was all smiles pregame, but once the game got going, the frustration started to show as his team made mistake after mistake, and they haven't gotten through it yet. They keep making mistakes, and he's letting them know. And Tess, I'm starting to wonder if his team is also reflecting that and not getting over the mistakes.
Takes a bounce out of bounds. Rod, I mean, Dana Holgorsen only having 1 touchdown on the scoreboard for his offense is like a Kardashian only having 1 photo in a gossip magazine. They're not used to it. It frustrates them. It's not what they want.
Yeah. Free kick out of bounds. The ball be placed at the 40-yard line. First down.
I think at this point, his team might benefit from a little bit more positive coaching, smiles, or something to get them through the frustration and rough parts they've had. I mean, when guys aren't giving effort, fine, get on them. But now these guys have had a hard night, and they know he's frustrated. And they need to find a way to get something going. And I think he sees the frustration on their faces. You got to find a way to get through that.
Here's Dustin Garrison. And he's tackled by Greg Williams.
See, the thing that I'm sure they're most frustrated about is that Pitt has been more physical, and you can see that in the 2 rushing yards or 4 rushing yards West Virginia has tonight.
Second and 7 now. Garrison, this time he gets free, crosses midfield, and kept his balance to the 43-yard line.
Great instincts, great feet. He felt the hold to the right side, and just a nice little plant your foot in the ground and get to the other side.
That ball was batted by Aaron Donald and landed near Greg Williams.
You can always tell which team is tougher and more physical by the way they play in the trenches. And when you rush for 15 yards on 12 carries, you're getting beat up.
There's Here's Aaron Donald, who leads the Big East in sacks. He's had an outstanding season. Garrison now on 2nd and 10. And he spins for a gain of about 8, tackled by Williams.
I think Dana Holgorsen has been challenging his team at halftime, telling them, we are going to run the football. We are going to run it at them, and you will block the guys in front of you.
See the commitment they've made here, and now they bring in Sean Alston, who's the bigger back, upperclassman, brings a little maturity and toughness to the offense. They show that diamond stacked formation here on 3rd and 2, and Dana wants a timeout. Hot and bothered. Let's tell you what you're in store for tomorrow afternoon. You got one of the great rivalries in the game with Ohio State and Michigan at noon on ABC. ESPN at 3:30 has Penn State, Wisconsin, and your 3:30 ABC game, which also is available on ESPN2 if it's not on ABC in your area. Oregon State, Oregon, or how about number 5 Virginia Tech in Charlottesville against the upstarts, Mike London's Virginia Cavaliers.
What a game. The winner will get Clemson in the ACC championship game. So tomorrow is for all the marbles in the Coastal Division.
And quietly, Virginia Tech now number 5 in the country with that 10-1 mark.
Have you arranged our transportation to get down there?
Somehow, some way, find our way down to Charlottesville. 3rd and 2 with Sean Alston, and he picks up the first down and is still fighting for yardage to the 24. We're going to be making that drive down, Rob. Well, for that Virginia Tech Virginia game. Okay. Looking forward to that tomorrow. Should be a great atmosphere down there in Charlottesville as they have worked their way back into not just being relevant again, but contending for a title.
How about that finish they had last week with Florida State? Wow.
First down at the 24 now. Play action. Smith over the middle, and it is complete. Tyler Irvin, good thing he's 6'5", because he went up and got it.
Nice throw against a 2-deep coverage, 2 safeties splitting half the field and getting Irvin inside down the middle.
First and goal. Alston inside the 5, spins, fights, touchdown.
Now that was a physical drive and that was a physical run, but was the knee down before he crossed the line? And it looked like that ball got over the goal line before his knee was down. That's a physical run by Austin.
Previous play is under further review.
So they'll take a peek at this. What did you just say moments ago that it was obvious to you that that guy, Dana Holgorsen, said we are going to commit ourselves to being more physical, to running the ball? It really paid off on that drive for them.
He probably told them whoever did not want to be physical could stay in the locker room, and he'd play with the guys who wanted to be physical. And they came out and ran the ball that drive. The freshman, Garrison, did it. Alston finished it off.
Sean Alston, just the kind of guy that Dana Holgorsen is looking for in a spot like that. Holgorsen has said to us earlier in the week when, Rod, I think you asked him about the role that Sean Alston is now playing in this offense. He said he gets you the hard-fought yards, nothing dynamic, but he's going to bring you toughness.
Yeah, and he's the guy that was in the doghouse at the beginning of the season because, you know, he couldn't practice. He had gone through an injury and wasn't quite in shape and ready to go, and it took a while to get him back. And he's been a lifesaver for them, particularly in short yardage situations.
This is what they're looking at.
Yeah, they're checking for that left knee. You see it right there.
Further review. The ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
Which obviously they had the video evidence to confirm the touchdown.
They got 44 yards on the ground on that drive. They had -2 at halftime.
It's a statement, and it worked. And now a chance to close the margin to just 7, and Bittencourt does just that. West Virginia with a good-looking scoring drive.
ESPN's College Football Primetime, brought to you by Acura, Acura Advance, and Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception, only on PlayStation.
All night long, we've been showing you some of the programs through the 104 years of the Backyard Brawl. Saw one for a dime pass by the screen there. There's a 50-center.
Those are awesome.
1966.
Those are fantastic.
And we have now just a 6-point game as West Virginia went to the ground, and it served them well. Pitt up by 6, 20-14, as there's life again here at Milan Puskar Stadium in Morgantown. Corey Davis on the return. And Davis breaks free. A good return as Davis is out past the 38-yard line. Let's take a look back at our accurate drive recap.
Oh, that recap was really all about the running attack for West Virginia and being physical. Garrison got it going inside and outside, and then Alston was the guy who picked up a key first down before finishing off the drive with a touchdown after a very nice throw to Urban that set it up. But it was the running attack that made the difference for West Virginia to start the third quarter.
Censeri keeps it, and Censeri goes for 4 yards. Isaac Bennett remains the back for Pitt. They are thinned out with the running back depth. Of course, Ray Graham's been out with a torn ACL since October, and now Bennett runs off. Zach Brown left the game earlier, and now Corey Davis checks in and flanks Tino Censeri here on 2nd and 6. And that is off the hands of a diving effort from Mike Shanahan.
Think about the impact in the backfield for Pitt. Davis had 3 carries coming into the night. And that man over there, Bennett, was not a starter, so he hasn't carried it 15, 20 times in a game. So now they're stretching all these guys for the rest of this ball game.
3rd and 6. West Virginia looking to get after Tino Censeri. Davis remains in. A freshman running back put into duty here with the injuries. And he's going to be right at the sticks. Corey Davis sliding down. Looks like he has the yardage to make. Davis is a freshman from Texas. He's one of the fastest guys on the team. He was not on Pitt's recruiting radar, but Todd Graham has those Texas connections, and it came through there.
That's his first catch of the season. A lot of confidence on a 3rd down and throw to a freshman who had not caught a pass all year.
Time to step up. They keep it on the ground with Corey Davis, and he gets about 3.5 yards.
Now,
meanwhile, Zach Brownrod is over on the sideline. Pads are off. His night is done.
That is an awful lot to put on Corey Davis, a freshman who has not played much this year, to ask him to carry the load here with Bennett and Brown apparently banged up.
2nd and 7. Censeri. And he is taken down right at the 50-yard line. That was Julian Miller, who's had an active night up front for West Virginia.
Yeah, and this is that tough situation because you're going to get West Virginia's speedy pass rushing package. Irvin and company.
Watch number 11. One of the top pro prospects as an off-the-edge pass rusher there is. 3rd and 9. It came from the other side. It was Najee good.
They're just paying so much attention to Irvin on the left side that you free up Good on the right side with the delayed blitz. Irvin's over here. They're going to worry about him, but Good's over here on this side. Because of all the attention number 11 Irvin gets to the right side, you get Good coming along free on the right side.
And now Brown is able to field this punt. They've had their struggles, muffing a few, but 6 minutes to go. West Virginia trailing by 6, and the crowd senses just a bit of momentum. Got the ESPN Bullbound app is out. It's free on your iPhone and Android. You can text Bull to 43776 to download. You get all the video, the news, the analysis, the latest BCS standings, weekly projections. Great tool to follow along. Here's Geno Smith. And the Pitt pressure now gets to Geno Smith as Brandon Lindsay was able to take him down. K'Wan Williams, the corner, also was in on the mix there.
You know, that Bowl app be great for Pitt and West Virginia fans trying to figure out where their teams might be if they don't wind up.
You need one of those scientific calculators, though, to try to figure out the Big East right now.
Yeah.
You have many teams alive. Nobody's out of it. Nobody controls their own destiny. The one thing we can tell you for fact is that this is an elimination game. Garrison now. Dustin Garrison with a cutback. And he'll be about 1.5 yards short of that line to make, taken down by Max Gruder. So the winner tonight stays alive. They need to win out and still need a bit of help to secure that Big East BCS qualifying spot. Louisville won today. They can clinch the BCS bid with at least a loss by Cincinnati and one loss by Pittsburgh in these last couple of games. 3rd and 2 as Sean Alston is the deep back. Alston, it'll depend on the mark. Max Gruder tackled Alston.
Looks short there.
Tackled by Gruder.
Total commitment in the second half to running the football, and Dana Holgerson is really thinking about this. He is really thinking about it. Oh, he so wanted to go, but he knows this is way too risky. You're in your own territory here.
Corey Smith, a punt. Mike Shanahan back at the 25-yard line for Pitt. And another good boot from Smith. Takes a fine bounce inside the 2. Did they save it? How about that? The 1-yard line. Roderick Jenkins on special teams getting down there in time. A 63-yard punt by Corey Smith. Pitt is going to be backed up when we come back to Morgantown. A little punter brotherly love, Rod, as Michael Molinari, who struggled mightily in this game, encouraging and lauding Corey Smith.
Yeah, well, Molinari had a 22-yarder and a 27-yarder, just an awful night. And Smith has come in to kick punts of 50, 57, and 62.
The ball will be at the 2-yard line, 1st and 10.
So they're going to spot this ball at the 2-yard line, they determined, as Smith had another big punt that has pinned Pitt.
Yeah, he's
back against their own goal line.
He's been Bigfoot. Not a single punt under 50 yards for Smith.
And remember, Pitt is down to their number 3 running back, little Corey Davis. Play action from his end zone. Sunseri's going to take a shot. And it is incomplete. He was looking for Devin Street. Here's Jonathan Coachman in the studio.
All right, Joe, thank you very much. Here's what's happening on SportsCenter right now. The Lions and Dominican Sue has apologized for his actions against Green Bay Thursday. Sue was ejected after stomping on a Packers lineman. He says he wants to work to become a better player, professional on and off the field. LSU, they put a beat down on Arkansas, 41-17. They're into the SEC Championship, 12-0 for the first time in school history. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Coach.
Timeout. West Virginia.
So they call the timeout. Coachman just talked about LSU's dominance today. Of course, Chris Lee, Kirk Desmond, Aaron, David Pollack will have plenty to discuss with the BCS standings tomorrow as game day gets underway at 9 o'clock from down there on the plains in Auburn, Alabama. LSU couldn't look better. Arkansas, another team that's now going to tumble. Alabama, will see what they do against Auburn. What do you make of that, the Iron Bowl tomorrow?
Well, I think Alabama is sitting in a nice spot, and they have a chance to really move forward. I think that game is such a classic game. I have no idea what will happen. Auburn could rise up in that game. You talk about Roll Tide, War Eagle.
Anything
that's an environment. Oh, absolutely. Ought to be a great, great environment.
Corey Davis, and Davis finds some room out to the 10-yard line.
How many carries can Davis handle without being fatigued?
That Miller made a nice tackle there. 3rd down and 2 now. Remember, Davis, the freshman, seldom used, but Zach Brown out with an injury. Isaac Bennett was banged up earlier. So they go with number 3. 3rd and 2. And there's the flag, some motion up front.
Yeah, it's going to move him back 5.
Ball start, offense, number 76. At the distance to the goal, 3rd down.
Now, this is a real problem for Pitt. A real problem. Do you risk throwing the ball down here when you know you're going to get pressure? Or you simply try and wedge it out so you can kick it away? And remember, you've got a freshman running back who hasn't played a lot that might have to help you in pass protection if you throw it.
Against very good pass rushers. Sunseri to throw from the end zone. Pressure. He is able to get out to the 3, but now special teams will play a big factor in this game as Julian Miller able to get to Tino Sunseri.
Relentless effort by Julian Miller. The bottom of your screen on the left side there. He gets pushed out of it, but he gets back in. He never quits and gets the sack. West Virginia much more physical this second half.
Matt Yaklick, back of his end zone. Does take a Pitt bounce. Out past midfield. But these fans here in Morgantown sense the momentum change. Todd Graham has been a part of this backyard brawl before. Was with Rich Rodriguez back in 2001 and 2002. 104th meeting. Separated by only 70 miles. But the talk about this week, with conference realignment, Pitt eventually off to the ACC, the Big 12 calling on West Virginia. Perhaps the last time we have a backyard brawl for the foreseeable future. Geno Smith, little shake and bake. And the Mountaineers offense on the move to the 36.
A designed run for the quarterback. Dana Holgorsen does not normally call that. They are looking for ways to move the ball on the ground, and they got the quarterback involved. They've had more success running the ball this half. More physical, more determined to run it.
Garrison now. Just a yard that time. As Kawan Williams and Chaz Alexi combine to take down Garrison.
Well, there you see West Virginia almost matching their output. They're on their way, the way they've been picking up yards in the second half, struggled in the first half.
And Pitt's offense has slowed dramatically. We come upon the final minute of this third quarter, 2nd and 9. And Garrison fighting his way to the 31.
You know, Dana Holgorsen, I'm sure, told his guys they have to run the ball because Pitt is paying so much attention to the wide receivers. They're determined to beat up the receivers and double cover them. You have to be able to run the ball inside. They have fewer guys inside. All the guys are outside covering guys and doubling up.
3rd and 4 now. Smith checks. Play clock under 10. Smith is going to launch it downfield. And it was just beyond Ivan McCartney, who tried to come back and underneath as Antoine Reed had coverage of McCartney.
Yeah, McCartney never got any separation from Reed. Reed's had a really good night. Did get a little grab there, but does a good job of looking back for the ball. And now we've got a 4th down. Dana's going for it here. Dana Holgorsen is going on 4th down.
4th and 4.
Considering where he is on the field, I can understand it.
That no man's land and trailing by 6. Smith, screen, unable to get it is Stedman Bailey. They threw that middle screen and Bailey had a fight for it, but Buddy Jackson and K'Wan Williams were right on top of him.
Yeah, but the timing was thrown off by the pressure. They wanted to run the screen, but watch the pressure inside. You're going to see Aaron Donald get in there, and he got there so quickly, it threw off the timing, and there was still good coverage and great tackling on the back end over there by Jackson and Williams. Seen that look before tonight.
Many times. So a turnover on downs. Isaac Bennett back in for Pitt. That's a good sign. And look at him go. His first play back in after being banged up, and it goes for 9 yards. 4th quarter of the brawl when we return to Morgantown. Three of the last 4 backyard brawls have been decided by fewer than 4 points. Could be we in store for another one here. 4th quarter underway. Sunseri sprinting to the near side. And he tried to tuck it and run.
Our game summary for tonight: Zach Brown, 67 yards on the ground. West Virginia finally getting their running game going in the 3rd quarter after being down 14-0. We are at 20-14 right now.
3rd and 3. And Isaac Bennett in the backfield with Sunseri. Play clock running down, and Sunseri is going to have to burn a timeout. Todd Cram gathering the troops. First-year head coach at Pitt, who has seen momentum changes throughout this night in the backyard brawl. It started early with the penalties playing a big role, and this kept things alive on a missed field goal that Pitt would convert into 7, Ron.
Yeah, and then the special teams horrors continued for West Virginia. Muffed a punt, which led to a field goal. Muffed another punt, Austin did, led to another field goal. 13 points off of miscues by West Virginia special teams play.
And then West Virginia closed the margin to 6 by committing to the run. Sean Alston with a power run, and now their defense is trying to create an opportunity here. 3rd and 3 as they look for the stop. Isaac Bennett now in the slot here. Sunseri to pass. And they get to him again. That was Will Clark.
Oh, that one's on Sunseri. He panicked a little bit there. He did not have to take off, but he did. There was only a 3-man rush. He lost his patience there and ran right into the sack.
Devon Brown back for West Virginia at the 25. Yaklic's kick. It's a good one. As the fair catch is secured at the 10. West Virginia's Will Clark fired up after that defensive stand. From all the way up in section 211, they are rooting down the Mountaineers for a comeback here against their rivals. The 104th backyard brawl. Sean Alston, not much there.
You know,
almost a yard.
This is an elimination game tonight.
It is. Big East. It's been a mess of standings in the Big East.
Yeah.
Not much was cleared up today with Louisville winning. We can tell you the loser tonight is out of the mix, as 5 teams are alive as it stands to try to claim that BCS spot in the Big East. Everybody needs a little bit of help. Nobody controls their own destiny. Tavon Austin with a blocker in front. And Austin out for the 27-yard line. Number 2 in the nation in all-purpose yards is Austin. Always been a playmaker throughout his career.
He had no yards in the second half until that touch.
West Virginia.
Now 19 yards for him in the second half.
Sean Alston now plays for about 2.5 yards.
You know, Austin, a guy who has been the focal point of this offense, had 72 catches coming into tonight.
Second and 7 now. Here's Alston again, and once again he is wrapped up. That was Aaron Donald and Brandon Lindsay. Calling out both those names a lot for the Pitt defense.
Now, where do you go on 3rd down? You've been getting a lot of pressure. Austin has not really been effective for you on 3rd down because of the double coverage. Neither has Bailey. Where do you pick up your 1st down? They've struggled with this tonight on 3rd down.
His near side slot is Austin. 3rd and 5, he comes in motion. They swing it to him. Blockers in front. Can he get to the edge? He does. 1st down Mountaineers, and a late flag comes in.
No flag on the play for offensive holding. 1st down.
So they pick it up, and the Mountaineers move on.
That was pretty good arguing by Dana Holgerson over there to avoid that, I guess, because they threw that flag from far away, but the officials did a good job of getting together and talking and asking the question, what did you see?
Now Garrison comes in at running back for Alston here. 1st down from the 39. Austin in motion again. This time Smith over the middle, gets it complete. And the ball comes loose, and Taglianetti jumps on it again. Wow. Pitch ball.
Well, Urban just didn't put the ball away before he went down. He's wide open over the middle. Smith finds him. But how about Taglianetti coming up, recovering the ball after the hit by Williams? I mean, that ball is low. You have to carry the ball high and tight. When you don't, you're vulnerable to the strip. You strip across and down, just as Williams did. And there is the magnet to the football, Taglianetti.
There they are, the dynamic duo. Getting that turnover, and now Sansiri is just going to tuck it and get as much as he can. Will Clark able to tackle Sansiri. And yet another miscue for West Virginia.
As they were moving. Bennett is back in the ballgame, but what a job Davis did, the freshman running back, as a sub in that third quarter.
Both freshman running backs getting plenty of time with the injury to Zach Brown. Here's Bennett. And Bennett with a gain of about 2.5. He is the true freshman from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
He almost lost that ball. He bobbled that ball at the beginning. And we talked earlier about how many carries are too many for the freshman. He hasn't carried the load this season, and now he's deep into the fourth quarter.
They were trying to redshirt him. Forced into action here. There's Corey Davis, the other freshman back. And now the young man from Tulsa is here in West Virginia with a lot of pressure on him. 3rd and 4. And the whistle blows.
False start. Offense on the 3rd quarter. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
You know, Pitt is really limited offensively now. You know, once Brown left the game, not only did you lose the rushing aspect, but he's good at catching the ball out of the backfield. So it's like they lost 2 players, and now you've got young guys in the backfield. Your key receiver is being doubled. You've got problems. You've got limitations now if you're Pitt.
Zach Brown, you see him looking on as Isaac Bennett. They have to step up in pass protection here. 3rd and 9. Sansiri with time, looking downfield, and just overthrew Drew Carswell. Carswell had gained separation, but they were unable to connect.
And that's the first time they've gone to Carswell tonight. He only has 9 catches on the season, so you can see they are looking for other places to get offense. Didn't exactly stretch that one out all the way.
Yarklick's punt. And Brown is able to secure it. So West Virginia gets it right back after the fumble. 9:27 to play, trailing by 6.
ESPN's College Football Primetime is presented by Russell Athletic, who remind you that together we are. And in part by the 2012 Ford F-150 with available EcoBoost. Visit Ford.com/big score for your chance to win big.
They've been brawling for many years, back when it used to cost only $1.25 to buy a program.
I was looking for Dan Marino and Mark May on the cover.
As we welcome you back inside here to Milan Pushkar, West Virginia back with the ball, and Geno Smith finding Tavon Austin in stride.
They have found a way to get him back involved. No yards in the 3rd quarter until late, and that's a 24-yarder.
And now they go with the screen to McCartney. Tavon Austin, who has now set the single season record at West Virginia with 78 receptions. They could use a few more here and try to take this lead. 2nd and 5. They go to the other side now with Austin. Picks up a block, crosses midfield, and spins his way inside the 45. He was taken down by Buddy Jackson.
And a great job by the other receivers out there blocking for Austin.
That was Bailey and Brown in front of him.
Yeah, they were beaten up in the first half by the corners, and they get a chance to get even here. And Bailey really doing a fine job on the outside there on 22, Antoine Reed.
And now the freshman back, Garrison. Oh, he was stacked up and met. But Quinton Smith got a little something extra in there, and a couple of flags coming at the end.
Yeah.
Welcome to the brawl.
Yeah.
This is what it often turns into. The backyard brawl between these two.
Well, we had some personal fouls in the first quarter, and then it quieted down for a while.
After the play, personal foul. Defense, number 97. 50 penalty, automatic. First down.
It's the last thing that Todd Graham needs with his defense.
Well, he told his team right before they came out for the game, keep your composure, play with class, don't get caught up in the chippiness. Aaron Donald just got caught up in the chippiness.
Easy to do between these two. Tension was running high before kickoff, and it's maintained that level. Now the pressure cooker of a 6-point game in the fourth quarter.
Not to mention the notion that this might be the last backyard brawl.
Could be for the foreseeable future, depending on how things shake out with the Big East and those exit agreements with conference realignment. Geno Smith now. And he gets it complete right near that first down stick to Devon Brown.
In the absence of being able to get the ball to Stedman Bailey, Brown and others are stepping up to help out. Austin's back involved in the offense as well.
Second and short. Looked Austin way, screen now the other way, and that was dangerous. Boy, they set it up for the look back screen to the running back, and it was Buddy Jackson who came flying in.
Yeah, he read it the entire way. He saw the lineman sneaking out and just came flying up and almost picked it off. If he had, that's 6.
Well, they've shown that a few times tonight. So Thorpe now. Pressure up the middle. How about that? They go from, as McCartney loses yards, they go from what looked like it could have been marked for a first down to going backwards now, and it's 4th down.
Well, I'm stunned that they went away from the run after they were becoming so physical and had a 3rd and 1, and you had 2 shots to get it. Now you lost yardage there.
It is 4th down and 6.
You can't go here. You've got to kick the field goal. You have to kick the field goal here.
You kick the field goal, you make it a field goal game.
Yeah.
But the clock is winding down, and they will likely use a timeout. We will take the break. West Virginia looking to get on the board again when we return. Joe Tessitore and Rod Gilmore back with you here in Morgantown. As you saw, West Virginia huddled as they were thinking over what to do on 4th down.
To me, there's nothing to think about here. I mean, Pitt is struggling offensively, second half, 51 yards. You're down 6. You kick the field goal and play defense and get the ball back.
Instead, they will go for it on 4th and 6.
Even if this works out, I think this is the wrong call.
Pressure. Complete. First down. West Virginia moves the chains. Tavon Austin, their go-to guy.
That's gutsy. That is one gutsy call.
First down, West Virginia.
Pitt defense still trying to set up here. Sean Alston cuts back. Big opening for Sean Alston. It'll be 1st and goal, Mountaineers.
They have been so good running the ball in the second half. Why change?
Austin now. And he is stacked up at the 1-yard line by Jared Holly.
Now this is where Austin should get the ball.
That's the big back, number 20. Second and goal. As they hurry up, and here is Austin. Touchdown. Gives West Virginia a 21-20 lead with the after Sean Alston scored on the 1-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, they get into this gap over here and they seal off everybody else, and it's an easy touchdown run for Alston. Look at that gap, wide open, nobody got there, sealed off completely. That's a nice job. They've come all the way back, and they've done it by being more physical than they were in the first half.
West Virginia's first lead of the game. Big day coming at you tomorrow. Of course, it all starts with game day with Chris and the gang starting at 9 a.m. on ESPNU. And then look at this slate of afternoon football. Ohio State, Michigan on ABC at noon. Virginia Tech, Virginia is for a trip to the ACC title game, ABC 3:30. Or you get Oregon State, Oregon. And Penn State, Wisconsin, ESPN at 3:30.
Oregon wins the Pac-12 North would they win, and would face surprising UCLA in the Pac-12 championship game next week.
Milan Puskar Stadium is rocking as they trailed 14-zip. They trailed 20-7, and now a 21-20 lead. And just blown up that time was Pitt's. Check in with Jonathan Coachman.
All right, guys, coming up at 10:15 Eastern Time after you are done, Big Brock Osweiler in Arizona State trying to snap a 3-game losing streak to Cal just under 14 minutes from now. But first, back to you for an exciting finish.
Rod, the Pitt offense only has 51 yards in this second half.
They've been struggling. When Brown went out, so did much of their offense.
And they keep it on the ground with Isaac Bennett, the true freshman from Tulsa, Oklahoma, who's been filling in for Zach Brown.
Yeah, the problem is Bennett is a guy who hasn't carried the ball. He's been a backup running back. He's a freshman. Davis, a freshman. Brown, the senior who stepped in for Graham, has been out.
Sunseri. And that is incomplete. Sunseri was trying to connect with Mike Shanahan. Ian Smith had coverage on Shanahan.
And now the problem begins again. Now West Virginia will come with Bruce Irvin, George Wright, Julian Miller, all in their pass rushing package.
Young pass rushing Will Clark has been active as well. Let's see if they can get after Sunseri. 3rd and 9. Dumps it off short to Bennett, and Bennett picks up the first down.
Now that was a great run by the freshman. He made a guy miss and then finished the run to get the first down. Just put his head down and made sure he picked up the first down.
A young man who led his team to a high school state title a year ago and now finds himself being a key figure in the backyard brawl a year later. Comes from Tulsa, Oklahoma, where Todd Graham was the head coach at Tulsa and was recruiting him. Got the Pitt job and said, come north with me. 2nd and 5. Zach Brown out with the injury. Looking up that scoreboard as they trail by 1. 4.5 minutes to play. Sunseri, quick strike there to Devin Street, so he goes with the read option and then throws off of it.
Yeah, it becomes a triple option. Fake the dive, quarterback keep, or fake the keep, throw it instead of simply pitching it.
Good looking play.
Option 1, option 2 right here, and option 3, throw it.
Executed well by Sunseri. First down just short of midfield. They keep it on the ground with Bennett. And Bennett to the 46.
Bennett had 19 carries on the season before tonight. He's carried it 16 times tonight.
Ray Graham out for the year with that torn ACL. They turned to Zach Brown, the senior. He gave them good productivity, but then tonight Zach Brown exits with an injury. Corey Davis, the other freshman who's contributed. And here's Sunseri sprinting to the near side, and he doesn't get anywhere as Julian Miller was on top of him.
Remember when we had USC a few weeks ago and Lane Kiffin talked to us about giving his running back too many carries against Stanford? He had to late in the game, and it wore him down. You worry if you're a Pitt fan. You worry about Bennett having to carry the load more than he has all season.
Big 3rd and 5. Sunseri, pressure came and it got to him. Bruce Irvin and Will Clark bring down Tino Sunseri.
Held the ball too long. You cannot take a sack in that situation. The protection was good initially, but he couldn't find anyone and he took the sack, and that's a tough one with under 3 minutes to go.
Sack number 6 of the night for West Virginia's defense. Yonkler, his punt does take a Pitt bounce, and it goes all the way inside the 10, down to the 6. 2.5 minutes to play. West Virginia feeling good about themselves. Not the case with Ray Graham. Bruce Irvin celebrating. Defense has played well in this second half. Joe Tessitore and Rod Gilmore with you as West Virginia tries to close out the backyard brawl with another victory. Real Deal's brought to you by Wendy's, Rod.
Yeah, and it's been Geno Smith is the real deal. Look at what he's done tonight. He set 3 single-season records at West Virginia: completions, pass yards, and total offense.
You can vote for the Real Deal at ESPN.com on your mobile phone. Defense now needs to come up big. Sean Alston, nowhere to go. Here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Joe, they're just about set for kickoff. Zach Maynard and Cal taking on Arizona State. The kickoff of this one probably will happen over on ESPN News until you get done there in Morgantown. So stay tuned for that. Joe, back to you.
Thanks, Coach. 2:20 to go. A timeout call. Todd Graham will talk things over.
The key plays for West Virginia in this second half, picking up that 3rd down, which was a really, really big one for them. And then they got a great effort on the touchdown run by Alston, which put them ahead for the first time tonight. That was huge for them. And, you know, if you're Pitt, you're thinking about, you got another timeout, get a stop, use a timeout, get the ball back, and you have a shot at a field goal. That offense has struggled. But
what's the answer with that offense? So, I mean, the defense has done their job tonight, but what is the answer now with what they're left with offensively?
I think they have to have more protection for Tino Sunseri. I don't think it's good enough anymore to protect with 5. They got to go with 6 or 7 to get the ball out.
Well, they're hoping to even get a chance to answer that question. Sean Alston, and he gets it to the 9-yard line. So another timeout is used by Pitt. That is their last timeout, and they will look for the defensive stop to give them the offensive opportunity. Unlimited action coming up this weekend, brought to you by Sprint. Going to be a big Saturday of college football, including the battle for the Commonwealth Cup tomorrow, 3:30 on ABC. What a remarkable season it's been for Virginia. Virginia Tech now up to number 5 in the country. The winner goes and plays for the ACC title.
And Frank Beamer still thinking his team has a shot at the national championship. And we also saw the Oregon game there. Oregon can clinch, and Stanford will unveil some new uniforms against Notre Dame tomorrow night.
That is in prime time. For now, a 3rd and 6. There's that touch pass to Austin. Can he get there? No. Pitt is going to have a chance.
And what's worse, he went out of bounds.
So 2:10 on the clock, and the punt team running out for West Virginia.
If he stays in bounds, you run off another 30 or 35, 40 seconds off the clock. Going out of bounds with that play now gives Pitt a realistic shot of having time on the clock to get something done.
Mike Shanahan set to return the Corey Smith punt. He's been punting well tonight, and he backs up Shanahan to the 26. And Shanahan is out to the 34. Wes Tonkery with a special teams tackle. Minute 56 on the clock, trailing by 1 now.
Yeah, Smith might be the most valuable player for West Virginia, the way he's punted the ball.
60-yard punt by Smith. Once again, as for what's on the line, in a muddled Big East where seemingly everybody is still alive, well, these two teams alive for the moment. But this is an elimination game. Both need to win out, and they need help to secure that BCS automatic qualifying spot that the Big East has. Louisville's in play, as is Cincinnati and Rutgers. But right now, the backyard brawl will keep hope alive for one or eliminate the other. Sunseri goes down again. Julian Miller.
Great pass rush, great pressure, but again, your quarterback has to get rid of the football. You cannot take sacks in this situation.
7 of them tonight. 7 times Sunseri's been sacked. Gets this ball complete.
What a catch.
Devin Street, 6'4" sophomore, went up and came down with it.
Well, he made the difficult catch here, going up high, and it looked like his left foot was in bounds when he came down. Watch the left foot. Sorry, it is actually the right foot and knee. Official right on top.
Watch the right knee.
Yeah, it's the right leg, right knee, right foot. That'll be reviewed, as all plays are. And it was ruled a catch on the field. So now you need indisputable evidence that he was not in bounds.
That's the key. They say that knee came down. It was called a catch on the field. So now there's Jerry McGinn, the Big East referee, talking things over with Nick Traynor, the replay official, as they deal with Devin Street, who put forth just a tremendous effort on the near sideline.
Yeah, as I look at that video, it is not completely clear that the first part of his body that touches is out of bounds.
Well, the good news for Pittsburgh is that the call on the field is a completion. So you have to have the indisputable video evidence in order to reverse this.
Yeah, you look there and you see that's what you're looking at. And it is too difficult to tell, at least to me, that he clearly landed out of bounds. If that was the first part that touched, it looks like it's conceivable that his leg touched green before going out of bounds. But the West Virginia bench certainly believed he was clearly out of bounds.
Look at Dana Holgerson. Dana's saying right there. He touched the white right there. The officials come in and they say that is a completion.
Yeah, I don't think there was enough in that video to overturn it. It wasn't clear.
And just to put in perspective how big of a call this is, if overturned, it would be a 3rd and 12 at their own 32. Devin Street walking over to the rest of his Pitt teammates. A reminder that after we finish things up here, Cal and Arizona State will take it deeper into the night as they are kicking off, and they're just underway with Pac-12 action.
After
That's
further
on ESPN
review,
News for the
the
moment.
receiver's knee came down out of bounds first before his foot came down. It's an incomplete pass, 3rd down at the 31-yard line.
So they reverse it. They say that they did have the indisputable video evidence proving the call on the field was wrong.
I'm not sure I agree with that, but there it is. And this creates a very difficult 3rd down for Pitt.
So now it is that 3rd and 12 that Pitt has to overcome. Line to make is the 44. Sunseri has time. Throws it underneath. Going to have to battle for it, and coming up short is Isaac Bennett. So it'll be 4th down.
Smart play. You didn't need all of it. You knew you had 2 downs. Now they have a shot at it. That was a very smart play by Tino Sunseri, and a good job by the running back Bennett.
4th and 1. Sunseri needs to get it, and he falls forward. This is going to depend on the spot.
I don't think he got there.
It'll depend on the mark. The near linesman spots it. It's right at the tip of that unofficial yellow line of ours.
You know, it didn't look like he got much push there at all.
"104 years of battling tooth and nail, and this one's going to come down to the chain gang." A tug on the stick is going to determine it. Wow. Could not be closer.
Wow.
Could not be closer.
Are you kidding me?
1st down, Pitt, by a pimple of leather on the front of the ball.
Oh my goodness.
Pitt still has a chance. 56 seconds remain. 1st down. Their kicker is made from 52. Sunseri pressured again. Nobody was there. Julian Miller had pressure.
That is his 4th sack of the night for Julian Miller.
Officials
now remember
talking it over.
Well,
and there's the flag. There was nobody near that throw from Sunseri.
Now you have to have a guy in the area. He does not need to be in position to catch the ball, but you have to have a receiver at least in the area.
Intentional grounding, offense, number 12. Loss of down. Also, there'll be a 10-second runoff. Please put the clock to 37 seconds.
No timeouts. 10-second runoff. The loss of down and push back. Sunseri's got to make up his mind soon. Can't do that. Last thing you can do is take a sack. Najee good. Clock continues to run down. Todd Graham desperate at this point. They need a miracle. And that is going to be that, as Schlepper, the left guard, scooped it, and it ends. Bruce Irvin with the pressure to close things out, as West Virginia's comeback earns them the 104th backyard brawl. Sacks on the night for West Virginia. West Virginia is still alive to get a BCS berth. 21-20, our final here in Morgantown. Coming up next, it's Cal versus Arizona State. For Rod Gilmore and the crew, I'm Joe Tessitore. Enjoy the rest of your night, including Cal and Arizona State with Mike Patrick right now.